Hi everybody, this is Sayaji Dan, Saya Miles, and we're going to teach you the stepping pattern for the 5-point form. Now this is a rare treat. This is actually very, very simple. It's called the 5-point form because you step on 5 points. So you can map out your stepping pattern very clearly on the ground and you will have no problem knowing where to step. Remember that whenever you're done a move, you should be in a T stance. So while we're doing this, I will be showing you and correcting Saya Miles in his mistakes so that you can see how to fix it and make sure you're doing the T stance. Okay? We begin standing on one of the yellow circles. You see I have yellow and green. I put out 3 yellow. They're steps 1, 2, and 3. They're points 1, 2, and 3. And green are points 4 and 5. You can put down a different color for every point. You can put down the same color for everything. You can use circles. You can use tape. I don't care. But it's 5 points per half. The second half is the same thing done facing the opposite direction. And so your 5 points will adjust to a different place. Okay? But it's 5 points per half. So we begin in Tangyongbyun a little differently than in our American Bando. In American Bando, we always step out to the right. Tangyongbyun, reverse Bando, they step out to the left. Okay? So point 1, go back to point 1, is where you're standing when you start the form. When you step out to the left, point 2. And as you do that, you're going to shift your weight and turn it into a T stance. And in the form, you'll be starting with a cross block. Okay? But let's just work on the stepping pattern right now. So, in this pattern, he stepped out to point 2. He's going to wind up shifting his weight the other way and then stepping to point 3 into a T stance. See that? Toes pointed forward, heels turned out. He's angling out at the 45, which is where the bad guy is. Okay? Then he's going to pull back into a crane, do a kick, and then step out to point 1 again. So let's think about that. Go to 1. Go back to 1. 2 feet. Stepping pattern from the beginning is you're in 1, go to 2, shift and go to 3, kick and go to 1. Okay? Then you're going to shift and go to 4. Right? Fix your feet, turn and point your toes towards 5 so that you're in a true T stance. Okay? Now, to get to 5, you're going to shuffle, not half step. Shuffle in, go super slow motion. Shuffle in. Feet together, foot out. Now you're at 5. Now you have to get back to 1. Feet together, step back to 1. Okay, that's a shuffle in, shuffle out. All right? Then, from there, you're going to pull back to 1, and this is where you're going to go into your crane and do your lekamon. Tangyongbyun. Okay? Step back to 4 with an overhead block, but step back to 4. And now, unlike the first time where you shuffled to 5, this time you're going to do a full step to 5, turning your body into a T stance, right? Good. That's the stepping pattern for the first half. When you're done, there's a transition moment where you'll go to a new set of 5 circles or 5 marks. And this new set is you turn back here, you pull back into a kick, and then you step out to your H and shift into a T. And now you see he's not on one of the 5 points. That's because he's starting the second half, and all the 5 points have to rearrange for the second half so that he has his new 5 points to step on. So, let's not worry about that quite yet. I just want to make sure you understand the transition turns into a new set of 5 circles or 5 tape marks, but it's a very simple stepping pattern. Okay? Step on one side, Miles. Don't worry too much about the shifting. We're just go smooth and easy through all the steps. We go to 2. We go to 3. We go back to 2 and kick and step to 1. We shoot and we go to 4. We shuffle into 5. We shuffle back to 1. We put our foot up, we step 4 and 5. Okay, 2, come on back. That's the basic stepping pattern. I want everyone to do this with me one time. Everybody, remember, we're not mirror imaging right now. We're doing the form as is. You have to transpose this and make sure you're doing your left foot correctly and your right foot correctly. Don't try to follow along mirror image or you'll be doing it backwards. Okay? So you're starting out, and everybody listen to what I'm saying. Step out with your left foot. Good. Shift your weight to that left leg and step forward at a 45 with your right foot. Pull back to your left leg, step out with your right foot, and shift. There you go. Put your weight on the right leg and step with your left foot. You're on 4. Shuffle into 5. Shuffle back to 1. Pick up your left leg. Good. Step down to 4. Now step with your right leg to 5. That's the stepping pattern. 2, come back. If that was too fast for you, that's okay. Just practice it. Watch it over and over and practice your stepping. Once you get your stepping pattern down in this form, you've completed most of the hard part. The basic 5-point form is relatively simple. After this, the only thing you got to work on is that new kick. Once you have that new kick and the balance down with that kick, this form is pretty quick, okay? The second half is the exact same thing as the first half, facing the other direction. Unlike Hanthwadi American Bondo, where we do opposite sides of our body, this is this form, and you do it twice. Exactly the same, facing this way and then turning around and facing the other way. So your stepping pattern will be exactly the same for the second half. It's just your whole 5 points will move around and face the other way. Okay? So that's the 5-point form stepping pattern. I like my students to practice the stepping pattern first until you get it. Then we'll add in blocks and punches and kicks. All right? Practice this stepping pattern until you're comfortable with it, and then come into the learning, training, teaching videos, and let's learn the 5-point form.